Chapter 6: Lazy Internet Research. Now that we've established the fallacy of expertise, let's delve into some solutions. To solve a problem, you have to trace the symptoms to the root. So, how did we fall for the cult of expertise? My theory is that this problem has always existed, only it was previously confined to the realm of research, whereas now, thanks to the internet, it's afflicting most of humanity. Long ago, an expert had to spend hours reading published studies, retain the information, then report what they'd learned. Now, it's the opposite. We have armchair experts armed with a direct line to the internet, where one can find anything they want to confirm a bias. If you want to prove that cat litter cures cancer, I assure you a quick flip and swipe on your phone will return at least 4 experts backing your claims. Please, don't eat cat litter. When reflecting on my experiences from teaching, I can confidently state 2 things about human nature and expertise. 1, people listen more when you say things they already agree with. And 2, people tend to agree with people they like. Charisma is king. Our world is full of internet experts, but these people are not experts at programming Java or setting up an ISP. They are braggadociously proud of their ability to quickly find and cite an online article as a source of expertise to prove their own opinion. Lazy internet research, LIR, is an epidemic. The CDC recently estimated that 7 out of 9 internet users suffer from LIR when expounding philosophies, a common side effect of the aforementioned human tendency towards the need to be right. LIR wouldn't exist without 2 pillar platforms, Google and Wikipedia. However, to be fair, the phenomenon achieved critical mass with Twitter, which features limited character space and an upbeat tempo that necessitates fast research and web citations to prove stuff. There's nothing more satiating for a lazy, biased debater than a link that backs up all their claims and absolves personal responsibility. While LIR is most often found on the aforementioned platforms, it is also commonly reproduced on Facebook and Reddit, as well as in group chats and the comment sections in blogs. If you or someone you know suffers from LIR, recovery programs exist, but I think this chapter is all one needs. There are not 12 steps for lazy internet research recovery. There are only 2. 1, admit it's unethical to quote questionable sources as though they were vetted and scholarly. And 2, shut up. Why ask others to validate an opinion? Opinions are like bubbles. They are fragile and short-lived. The more you try to hold on to one, the dumber you feel when it pops. LIR is unethical, but understandable. I mean, traditional research is a pain in the butt. The traditional method requires, first, reading peer-reviewed publications, second, weighing multiple, varied and opposing opinions from said sources against one another, and then, third, after careful deliberation, establishing an informed opinion, which is ultimately still an opinion and not a fact. Sadly, thanks to our ever-increasing cultural impatience, this tradition of due diligence is a relic of the past. A person seems dull and anachronistic if they present an opinion instead of asserting a fact. This is why LIR is the fastest growing trend in psychology. Indeed, the American Psychological Association recently reported that LIR has leapfrogged denial, repression, and blaming your parents on the psychology billboard charts. LIR is a successful contagion because even if an article doesn't fully agree with a claim, one can isolate a sentence or 2 that proves a point and then use that as evidence, ignoring the parts of the article that don't actually support the argument. For the same reason I don't trust a report about smoking if Philip Morris did the research, or a report on guns if the NRA was involved, I do not trust LIR. I want my research to resemble a noble judge, unbiased and interested in the pursuit of truth. The only reason I'm not a victim of LIR is because I love learning and philosophical contemplation. I love both because I'm a biased moron, and they are the only disciplines that prevent me from indulging in my own stupidity. I thus inform myself by seeking opinions that contradict my own. When an idea hurts my pride, I give it a chance. Conceit is my enemy. There is a famous theory, and I support it, which says reality is perception-based. Basically, if an object looks blue to you, then the thing is blue, even if 10 people tell you that it is red. Humans are nearly incapable of accepting new information if it contradicts their core beliefs. To seek an objective reality, we must open ourselves to as many new experiences and opinions as possible. I always seek the positive, so I suppose LIR experts could be helping the rest of us achieve enlightenment, but I doubt it. If you constantly find yourself telling others to each their own and fair enough, you probably don't have an issue with lazy internet research. But if in the time you read this, you found 20 online sources to contradict me, you may want to oil the door to your mind.